Alright, hey guys, welcome back to Intelligence Maxing Day 40. I'm gonna close my door real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna use this stream to spend some time working on the datathon, the datathon challenge for the NBA thing at my school. Pretty much to recap, what we're doing here is trying to find out what cities, pick two cities that we want to be able to pitch to an NBA executive to expand the NBA there. It's pretty much big idea, and we're given a few data sets, 3 data sets, one about NBA financials, one about US city data, and another about the world countries. So with that being said, right now what I'm trying to do is just look at the data, merge some of the data sets, and try to find some interesting predictors for high revenues. So we're given, it would be helpful to actually have Excel pulled up. Let me also fix this. Okay, so we have Excel pulled up and NBA financial data. So we're given all the different teams. I believe there's 30 teams in the NBA. The revenue in 2023, in the 2023 season, also the operating income in the 2023 season. So we also have 2019 ticket revenue. Interesting, so it's not ticket revenue in that specific year, but ticket revenue in 2019. So, okay. I say so a lot. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that the Clippers and the Lakers play in the same arena, the Crypto.com arena. Alright. So what I did was I combined this data set and no, what's good, Andre? No, I did not make March Madness picks. I'm not really big watcher of college basketball, to be honest. Okay, so there's 30 teams here, and I don't have to pull up the other data set, but I did combine the two. I might label what my work is, so I'm going to do markdown, I'll put in import. That would be interesting if there was a project on that for class to see if we can predict the March Madness bracket. That would be pretty cool, actually. March Madness machine learning project. Wait, how so? What type of algorithm would you use, or would it be a neural network or something? Okay, so I'll call this read in data. No idea. Yeah, that's right. Okay, read in data. We'll read in the financial data from 2022 to 2023 NBA season. City data and world data. Okay, I'm gonna display display financials.head, display cities.head. We also have display cities.describe, display financials.describe. All right. I think I'm going to, oops. I see. So I delete all these, delete all these. I don't really need to comment that in. Okay. Grab first 500 rows. All right. Arena cost count millions. So the mean revenue is around 352, mean operating income. So the median is a bit lower than the mean. Maybe there's some skewness involved here. Yeah, I could maybe build a histogram of I wonder if I could build a histogram to see the distribution of revenue and operating income. Ticket expenses too. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Alright. So I'll call this merging data sets. So merge the financials and city data set together. So replace, no, this is not replace, but remove any white space in the city names. So merge data, see what data cities are not included. Okay. Actually, I might do this. I might add the pre-processing data here. Okay. So we have Toronto. I think this is to check if alright, what does this do? I see. Okay. Check to see what columns have NA values. I think this is what it does. Okay. Call this data exploration. Regression analysis. Okay, so I want to build the graphs here actually. I'm going to take a look at how we can do that. All right. Bar plots. Bar plot in Python. Instagram. Python. Okay, let me see if this works. We have counts bins is equal to mp.histogram. We'll do cities. No, sorry, financials. I'm just gonna see what happens if I do this. All right. String and float. Okay. No, sorry. We need the 2020. I want to rename that too. Okay. I'll do plt.stairs count bins. See, that's a plt.bar. I don't know actually. plt.hist. So inverse bins. I'm not entirely sure why we do that. Bins weights is equal to count. Okay, I see. All right. So what if I do this? So what's the type of bins? Any array? Bins that size? Bins that shape, probably what I need. Okay, so it's 11. What does this do then? For, say, I in bins, print I. -1. Okay, so it just removes 1. It removes this if I do -1. But what about counts? Oh, I see. So I think what's going on is the bins represent the little thresholds, and so I think the threshold is the last number is kind of the end threshold, and so there is no associated count with that. I see. Okay, this is actually pretty helpful, the mp.histogram thing. All right. I wonder if we could do, let's do fig x is equal to plt dot subplots. No. I think we could do, let's x dot histogram. So x is going to be, okay, so x is our x-axis. X is going to be equal to bins. We'll call this, oh, so it's not reversing, but it's from the beginning to the very last number. And then we have bins. And then weights is equal to counts. Okay, so what if I delete this then? Then it automatically has. Yeah, nothing changes. What if I delete this? Okay, something does change. Maybe the thickness gets affected. No. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this for now then. It looks good. X dot set title is equal to 2022 to 23 ticket sales. Oh no, sorry, revenue. Set, call it X label. This is going to be equal to 2023 revenue. Set Y label, we'll call this number of teams. Okay, so there's a number of teams. Is the highest range between 300 and then 400. Okay, so it is very, I think you call this a skew right. There's a small number of teams to the right, a large number of teams to the left. So I think this is a right skew. I could be wrong. Let's take a look. Right skew. Yeah, okay. So this is a right skewed histogram. All right. X dot plots, or I guess X dot show. PLT dot show. Ah, there we go. All right. I'd assume that this is probably the same for operating income. I mean, let's see if these really high revenue generating MBA teams are also generating large amounts of income. Okay, so operating income is actually more normally distributed, it seems like. Not too many teams are making an insane amount of money, although some teams are unprofitable. That's actually kind of surprising. I didn't think that would be the case. I wonder what are those teams actually. So then we have operating income, and let's do player expenses. Oops. So player expenses. Okay. So this is also fairly normally distributed. You have 12 teams with about 160 million. Oh, I feel like there's also a salary cap or maybe a player cap. Take a look. Does NBA have spending cap? Right, what is salary cap NBA? Okay, so from what I'm seeing, it seems like the salary cap. Salary cap. So does this refer to salaries for all players or a single player? Okay. NBA salary cap. Alright, so I think the salary cap is the idea that usually NBA teams cannot exceed a certain amount of actual payments for their players. Okay, so that's important because I guess there is a certain extent to which players can actually. There's a certain extent to which players can, to which teams can pay for players. So there's a cap to the expenses that, to that expense for a certain team. So why is this so high in revenue and so low? I'm assuming that these are the same teams, or this is the same team here. You have a single team is making more than 800 in revenue, but only the income is around, I would assume, probably 200 million. And there's actually two teams with that, and there are two teams that have an exceeded amount of player expense, but it's only around 100, maybe 90 to 200 million dollars. So let's kind of take a look at what that team is then. Okay, so the Warriors, wow, they are the highest grossing team, and they spent 197 in player expenses. Okay. their operating income was only 79 million. So they don't even have the highest income. That's kind of crazy. Who has the highest income? Seems like it's the Knicks. So the Knicks have the highest income. They are sponsored by JP Morgan Chase. Does JP Morgan Chase own Madison Square Garden? I guess so. Oh wait. Okay, that's not it. So how much did the Knicks make in revenue then? 504. So that's still pretty substantial. I guess their player expense is not as high as the Warriors, but still profitable. So what is the Bucks? So the Bucks are not profitable, and I'd assume it's because they have one of the higher player expenses and rather low revenues. So I'd assume that there's maybe not enough people. Their ticket sales is one of the lowest ticket sales. It seems like 23 million. Charlotte Hornets is also pretty low. I wonder what the Wizards are. I feel like the Wizards would probably be pretty low. 60. Okay, not as low as I thought it would be. 60 million? Yeah, that's actually pretty high. That is pretty high. All right. Arena cost 260. Okay. Distribution of revenues, operating income, and player expense. Note that there are salary. Bless you. Note that there are salary caps on player expense in the NBA that limits player expenses. Okay. I'm gonna I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to maybe add this. So git add. Okay, git commit. We'll do added Zhang data analysis. Oh, so I'm gonna add a message -m. Okay, and then we'll do git push. Okay, so it seems like I probably need to git pull. You have divergent branches and you specify how to reconcile them. Okay, so what is a divergent branch? So what is a rebase in version control? Okay, so I'm gonna turn off rebasing then, because it seems like so what ChatGPT says, rebasing is a process used to integrate changes from one branch to another. So it's an alternative to merging branches. And what it says, what you're doing is you're essentially moving all the changes that were made in that branch since it diverged from the base branch and reapplying them on top of the current head of the base branch. This is like saying, I want my changes to be based on what everyone else has done up to now, not on what the situation was when I first started my branch. Interesting. Okay. I wonder what that would look like, but let's try pulling again. I think I should have a merge conflict now. Okay. So let's see what in DS store. I'd assume it's probably whatever I modified here. So I'm gonna rename this to cleaned Bzang and then Bzang. I'm gonna git commits -m Bzang datasets. Actually, git add. Git pull. Okay, so I think the merge conflict was, I had something here with I had modified these in the Excel file, and I think maybe my teammates also modified them in the Excel file. And so I'm assuming DS store is, let's take a look. What is DS store? Files for Mac OS specific feature meant to enhance user experience. Interesting. Okay. It's not entirely clear, but let's see. Oh, let me add this here. So git push, git commits, moved Python notebook to folder. Oh, git add. Oh shit. Okay, I'm curious to see what Shuket did. Okay, imported everything. So some notes plus analysis. Call this markdown. From the above 3 graphs, there's a, or we'll do this 2023 to 22 to 23 revenues. Income 23. So what do we find here? Found that there, from the distribution above, the revenue for NBA teams has a right skew, meaning there are more teams with there are a few teams with very high revenue and more teams with lower revenue. So there's 12 teams, 6, I think this is 6, 6, so it's another 12, 24 teams, 3, okay, so 24 teams have less, or what are the bins that we have? Prints, revenue, bins. What? Oh, let me use Anaconda then. Python environments. Alright, here we go. Oh, shoots. Yeah, I think it's called Bzang now. Wait, is it? Bzang underscore NBA underscore financial. Alright, what is this? Copy relative path. Really? Alright, well, let's see if we restart. Oh, shoot. Okay. I see why. I think I need to go up a directory. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Okay, just told my team. I'm already thinking about 4 cities: Seattle, Las Vegas, Montreal, St. Louis. $100 revenue. The highest revenue team is the Golden State Warriors. Okay. Yeah, the Golden State Warriors, I feel like they have kind of a monopoly on NorCal. I guess you also have Sacramento Kings, but anything that is lower than Sacramento, between maybe San Luis Obispo and up, you got San Francisco, San Jose, Oakland, Palo Alto. These are pretty, I guess you could say, populous cities. And also, people there have a shit ton of money. Okay. From the distribution, the nets, the operating income for NBA teams is more normally distributed. Most teams make around 160 million. So that's pretty solid, honestly. One team is unprofitable. One team is unprofitable last year. The Bucks. The highest, the most profitable team was the Knicks. Let's see. The Warriors did not have, so even though the Warriors didn't have a so had the highest revenues, they had an operating income less than the mean, so around 90 million. So maybe some takeaways. So when thinking about the cost of a team and the possible and projected revenues. Thinking about the cost of a team and projected revenues, it's important to be realistic with how much a team could make and how much it will take to run a team. So most teams are profitable, which is a good sign. Can be cases where teams are not responsible with their spending and can lead to negative earnings. See Milwaukee. That's definitely how I spell Milwaukee. Milwaukee. Okay, I'll do Bucks. So ideally, the next two NBA expansions will be able to have a revenue and income that is higher than the mean. That is higher than the mean. Okay, yeah, with that, I'm gonna use the bathroom. Okay, so one of my teammates just asked why I said Seattle, Las Vegas, Montreal, St. Louis. Okay. So I'm going to say that one of the biggest reasons why is because I ran the regression on population and okay, so if you run the regression on population and revenue, then you have this pretty linear correlation with the data. And you can see that usually cities with higher population do have higher ticket sales. So there's a positive correlation there. All right. Okay, I'm gonna reply with a photo of this. Okay, seems like they took a look. Somewhat agree, I would say. There's really nothing you could really argue with the data. Okay, so yeah, this is probably the driving force behind what I'm thinking. But what else is there? So check to see what columns have NA values. All right. I think I'm going to move this to a different section. Yeah, I don't really need that. Covariance. Income household median. So there kind of also is a slight positive correlation too. This one, not so much. Okay, so I'm gonna drop. What am I gonna do is so I'm gonna drop Brooklyn then from dataset from merge data frame because it does not have data. Alright, so I need to figure out how to drop that too. Oh, how to drop row in pandas. Merged df. Maybe I could use the city as an index actually. Merge df dot index is equal to merge df. We'll call this city. Okay, and then merged df dot drop Brooklyn access is equal to 0. Okay, so we'll do merged df. We'll do x Brooklyn. Do display merge df. Okay, so I don't see Brooklyn here anymore. Let's see display. Okay, so that's good. Now I think we have data that is all there, so we can run some regressions now. I want to say we could probably build a pair plot. How to make pair plots in Python. Oh, we could just do pair plots maybe with Seaborn. So pair plots merged df x Brooklyn. Let's see. Oh shit, maybe it's a lot. Long form data. Oh man, this is a while. Okay, yeah, I think I should not run that again because it just caused my computer to crash. What I want to do is figure out how I can maybe make a regression for the revenue against every single variable. So let's take a look then at the merged columns again. I'll do for column in merge df dot columns print column. Okay. Really? There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at, let's say maybe we have city. Revenue is gonna be our independent variable, our dependent variable. We also have age median. Maybe male. Family size. Home ownership. Rent median. Rent burden. Labor force participation rate. Curious to see what that one might look like. Unemployment rate. Okay. So what do we want to say here? Really, with the unemployment? Oh. X, Brooklyn. Still. Yeah. I think because this one is also, we need to change this. Okay. Nice. So there's a slight negative correlation, right? If you have higher unemployment, then it makes sense. Less ticket sales. So you want a relatively lower unemployment rate. Is the p-value is not super high though, it seems like, for the coefficient. What else is there? So we had said maybe rent median or home ownership. Rent median. Okay. Really? That's interesting. So as you have more people who are homeowners, there tends to be a negative correlation. I guess places with higher rent. I'm gonna take a picture of this too. Probably. So what does collinear mean? Same straight line. Right. It's probably collinear in the sense that these line the same straight line. The rent is just lower, or it's just scaled somehow. Yeah. Oh, okay.
The first CS2 major, the finals today. Who won? Bobby. Yeah. And not only that, they have a Romanian guy there now. Romanian got there. Simple? Simple's not Romanian? Simple's gone.
He's gone?
Dude, and Nami's not that good, and FaZe was. So don't even expect Nami to make the final. It's one of the biggest, upset winners ever. But Mike's in that. FaZe lost again in the final.
FaZe?
Charity. Wait, after the master, but it was a goal.
Oh, that's it.
Dude, FaZe lost in the final again. But dude, Nami now has two. I didn't even pay attention to this tournament. So the first off, Nami's not talent place yesterday. I just looked today, I saw the final was today. I'm like, Nami's in it? Like they did? I thought they sucked. And I looked at the rankings, and yeah, their ranking is not good. They made the finals. I was like, okay, I'll tune in and watch. And they fucking dominated. They look great.
I like how the one time you don't really care, or you don't really follow it.
Yeah, because I was like, first time I don't play CS2, Nami sucks, so I'm not gonna watch this shit. I just looked today's the final, like, they're in it. They're ass.
Good shit, Anami, good shit. I have
You
to.
know, I'll go to the doctor and watch that hour.
Yeah, I need to go eat now. I'm sorry.
Alright. Dude, did you hear?
What?
Invincible died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's going.
Cool.
Cool?
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go eat now, guys. I'm really hungry, so I'll continue the stream tomorrow and maybe later tonight if I feel like it, but need to work on some other stuff. So made some good progress here, ran a few more regressions, cleaned up the data a little bit, and saw that there's a few more data, I guess you could say, data points that a few more regressions you run. Surprisingly, home ownership, if you have an increasing number of homeowners, that somehow is negatively correlated with revenue sales. Yeah, that's interesting. So with that, I'm probably gonna head out, and I'll see you guys in the